Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Edge of Eternities Draft here on the channel. Huge thanks to Wizards of the Coast for inviting me to the early access event so I could get this recorded for you early. Our rare is Genomorph Imago, which is an insect druid. It's a 1/3 flyer, but when a land enters, target creature has base power and toughness 3/3. So if you're playing lands, it can be a 3/3, and if you have 6 or more lands, the creature is a base power and toughness 6/6. So it can hit for a ton of damage in the mid to late game. I think it's very strong. I think a better card to start with might be Tragic Trajectory. Just 1 mana, -2/-2. And then if you get Void going, you can give -10/-10 for just 1 mana. Hugely efficient removal spell, super flexible, fits into any strategy really, really well. There's also Debris Field Crusher as a top end card for a red aggro deck. I don't love this one nearly as much. The Glacial Godmaw is also really good, but it's quite expensive, so I'd rather start with a cheap, efficient removal spell that's going to do tons of good work for me over the course of the draft. Okie doke, pack 2. Well, there's Coral of the Void, which I think is an easy slam dunk mega pick. When it attacks, you put target creature card from the defending player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. At the beginning of your end step, you sacrifice the aura unless a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn. So you basically get to the mid game, use Coral of the Void, and get to start putting creatures from their graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. A lot of the time, you can get a free roll attack if they're like crewing up their spacecrafts or something, or stationing up their spacecrafts. And I think this card's really good. And at least it's worth trying out and trying. Tragic Trajectory plays really well with this because not only does it want you to get Void enabled as well, but also kill spells work really well with cards that let you take cards back from your opponent's graveyard. And yeah, I really like this card. Other cards, Scrounge for Eternity can be okay. Getting something back, getting yourself a lander token. Cryo Shatter is a really a nice removal spell for blue. And then this guy is a good little 2-drop that gains you some life for green decks. Well, it looks like we're just going all in on Void here. There's Hymn of the Faller. So one thing to note when you're drafting a deck like this is you have to balance power level versus likelihood to make your deck. So let's just say there was some 5-color card that was like the best card you'd ever seen, but it's 5 colors. So it's super unlikely to make your deck because all these things have to come together for you to be 5 colors. There's a lot of the time a gold card. So it's like a blue-white card. Taking that early is also risky because you have to be exactly blue-white to play it. In this point in the draft, I've got a black card and a black card. 2 black cards that I really want to play. So if I take a third black card, I'm more likely to play each of those black cards. But if I take, like, let's just say the other card I'm considering is Orbital Plunge, which is a really good red removal spell, all of a sudden, I'm less likely to play Orbital Plunge because I have to be a red deck and a black deck to play all 3 of my cards. And if I take this card, it's like, okay, well, now I'm really likely to play black cards, so all 3 of these cards are likely to make my deck. So it's like, what's the average power level I'm adding to my deck? And in this case, it's quite high. Oh my gosh, I'm just getting all the black cards. Sure, I'll take Alfariel Stone Chosen. It's not the greatest card, but 5 mana 3/3. When it attacks, if you have Void enabled, it will make them lose half their life total. So it just ends the game in a hurry, really helps you turn the corner. It's not the craziest card, but I think it's solid at the very least. What else is in this pack? There is Vault Guard Trooper, which can be nice. And I at least want to try some of these cards. Like a lot of the time, it's early access, so it's nice to get a chance to try some of these cards out, show you what they can do in practice. And the more black cards we get, the more likely we are to play the black card. So it's like, okay, let's just say this card's a 6 out of 10. I'm adding basically a 5.9 out of 10 to my deck because I'm so likely to play black. Whereas if I took this card, let's just say it was an 8 out of 10. I mean, that's a terrible example. That card's not an 8 out of 10. But if it was, it would be like not that much. Like it wouldn't be an 8 out of 10 for my deck because it's not like basically guaranteed to make my deck the same way these cards are. Okay, so we've got every card in our deck really cares about Void. This card is interesting, but not very good, I don't think. 4 mana, it's hard to get up. It doesn't really do much until you get all the way to the 8+. And even when it does, it's just a 3/10. So I think we'd rather take Embrace Oblivion. It's going to help us enable our Void cards. I do think Blade of the Swarm is also pretty reasonable. But it is kind of expensive at 4 mana. We're trying to figure out the second color that's open. There's a little bit of green, a little bit of blue. We'll see what seems open. Okay, Cerebral Download I like. But I think we're just going to take Swarm color. Keep just taking black cards. Especially ones that help us enable Void. Download is nice, though, for the Artifacts deck. Just take Blade of the Swarm. 4 mana 5/3 is pretty huge. Also Vault Guard Trooper. Let's just stick to black, though. we'll just take Hole Carver now, I think. Vault Guard Trooper is fine, but nothing crazy, I don't think. And like the more black cards we get, the better. We could be mono black technically, I guess. Now I guess we'll take Debris Field Crusher. Deal some damage, we can sacrifice it. We could also just crew it up, hit him for a bunch of damage. Lashwhip Predator is also fine. Starbreach Whale's fine. There's a few good options here. Red is a nice Void color, though, because it also has cards that care about Void. There was a couple of those 5/5s that like can refuel your hand a little bit, but I don't really mind passing up on these. Ooh, Scrounge for Eternity, nice. Sack an artifact or creature, return an artifact, a creature or spacecraft. We've just gotten like every black card. I think it's super open in our seat. Now I will take the Slag Drill Scrapper. I never want to play Graveblade Heavy, really. I just think it's a bad card. Whereas this is a nice way to enable Void. And we wield the Vault Guard Trooper. So red is looking like a good pairing. Pack 2. Okay. Well, this card's really sweet if we are an aggressive black deck. Haste. We're heavy black. We can warp it from the graveyard. Seems pretty good to me. It's also Skittermaw as a nice little tool in our arsenal, but the timeline color could be really good. We might even be able to play mono black. And that would make it even better. Maybe we can wheel one of these 3-drops. Wedge Light Rammer is solid, I think, but color is a great pickup. Sunset Saboteur, I think, is going to be an easily misunderstood card. Basically, what this thing does is, if they have no creatures in play, it hits them for a ton of damage. If you have a removal spell that you can use on the creature that you put the counter on, it hits them for a ton of damage. If you can't, you can just hold it back as a blocker, and it also stations vehicles pretty well. So I think this is pretty good. Roving Actuator. We have him, Tragic Trajectory, Embrace Oblivion so far. I kind of just want to take the Saboteur, get some reps with that. Hymn of the Faller is also pretty decent. Because I think we could play mono black, and that would be kind of cool. Now there's Faller's Faithful. Again, a card I like. You can kill your own things and get some value out of them. There is also Orbital Plunge, but I think we're going to be fine just taking mono black cards. Mono black could be a good home for this. We could just do some cool stuff. Trample Haste, eh? Melded Moxite, enable our Void cards. Interesting. Yeah, I think red was the most open, so let's just take that. Pick 5 Wayfarer is a bit late. There's also Peregrine Beckoner, and we do have some sacrifice synergies. Let's just take this Kill Ship. I like the Kill Ship. And now we get a Wormwall Sweeper. This is a good green card. I don't really like the Intervention very much, but I do like the Wormwall Sweeper a decent amount. Plays well with really any of my cards that care about tapping, like Vault Guard. Plays well with like the Saboteur. Sure, we'll take the Bruntar. Super late Galactic Wayfarer. Another timeline color, eh? This card's sweet. Real sweet card. There's also Servandum, another Intervention, another Sweeper, but keep going with the color. Ooh, nice. We get a Skittermaw. I think we could still be mono black, which would just be super cool. Might not even be ideal, but it's so cool that it like might outweigh the like benefits. And also with double timeline color, it is like a real thing. And what are we really gaining? Like a Vault Guard Trooper, a Bruntar. The perfect mana every time. All swamps. It's also very rare to play a monocolored deck. Hymn of the Follow. Okay, we are going to take the Actuator. I think this card's way better than the Swarm color. And Wheeling is a really good sign for our Void deck being open. Sure, we'll take Drill Too Deep. We're just going to be very heavy black. Though I guess we could still keep the possibility of Mono Black open. We only have 7 cards here. So his Roving Actuator actually seems pretty good for me. With Tragic Trajectory, Embrace Oblivion, and Hymn of the Faller. Oh, baby, another great rare. Requiem Monolith. So with creatures dealt damage, we draw them our card and lose that much life, and so we can activate to deal damage to our creature. Huge amount of card advantage. There's also Plasma Bolt, which would be great. Virus Beetle is black, so that's useful. I like the Monolith a lot. And now we just take Virus Beetle, I think, over the Ardent. We're not really making a bunch of tokens, so might as well just take a Virus Beetle. I don't even know how much better this is. This is a 3-mana 2/3, and this card's like pretty solid. And like with double black guys like this, it's kind of hard to like cast them if you don't have like 10 or 11 swamps. Sacrifice outlet basically. Sacrifice outlet. We have like 4 sacrifice outlets right now. Well, this is an easy Tragic Trajectory. Love this card. It's also a Secluded Starforge, which is pretty good for making some robots. I wouldn't mind a Decode Transmissions either. Maybe I just play I splash 1 red card, the Roving Actuator. I could play like 3 or 4 red cards. I just don't need to play like any of the random ones. Yeah, this is looking super sweet. Basically mono black. Oh man, what a perfect card. The 2-mana 3/2 that helps me enable my shenanigans. Just what I wanted. The double red might be hard for the Bruntar. Sure, I'll add Bombard. Nice little kill spell. Helps enable Void as well. One, two, three, four. Cutting Gravelet. Ooh, another Timeline color. Crazy. Pick 7. Another Hull Carver. Is Actuator really better than being able to cast this on turn 2 every time? Nothing else is really going to get back to me, I don't think. So it's really just a decision on whether or not I want to play the Actuator, I think, as my only red card. Or just play 2 red cards or whatever. I think I do. It'll be worth it. Playing like a Torpedo will be worse. Okay. What's my worst card? Like, if I just played these 2 black cards, I could just play 16 swamps and be done with it. But I think maybe playing a few red sources. This one's definitely not going to be worth it, because I'm not going to have enough red to consistently double pump it. My worst card. Scrounge for Eternity is not looking great. I was thinking 11-6. 12-5 might be better, though. Yeah, let's go 12-5. This is going to be a sweet deck. Making the timeline color our card. Let's get to the games. We're going to play 5 games with this deck, but before we get to those, I want to give a special shout out to the NicolaiBolas Patreon. If you've been enjoying my videos and you would like to support my content, you can do so via Patreon and gain access to my card by card tier list and format thoughts document, as well as other cool rewards. Special shout out to those patrons who support at the credits level. It makes a huge difference, and I truly appreciate it. Let's get to the games, though. Perfect hand. We got all our colors. We're kind of like playing mono black splashing red, because it's like 5 is like a very deep splash or whatever for 2 cards even. Perfect. Let's just go for it. Sure. Playing in the mirror match. Gonna get Alfariel down. I should have surveilled away the land. And then if I draw a spell, I'm happy. If I draw a land, I'm okay. We'll see how this goes. I can hit them down to 8. They eat one of my guys with a pangolin. Then they take 8 from these two. Oh gosh, that's not good. Yeah, I should have surveilled away the land. It's going to cost me big time. Gosh, the fact that this is a lifelinker is so bad. Oh, man. That one surveilled choice is going to cost... I mean, it might not cost me the game because it could have just been lands anyway, but... certainly not looking appealing for me. Because I would have drawn the land and then I would have drawn another land. I should have... I thought about it after the fact. I was like, okay, I want to play Alfariel next turn. Because it could have worked out if they hadn't played a 4/4 lifelinker. It's probably the worst case scenario for me on terms of cards they could have played. Also, trading off this guy was probably bad. So if I draw a kill spell now, I can do 1 billion damage to him. Not that it really matters because they have so many lifelinkers. Oh, and they have artifact guys, yeah. They're coming in. Yeah. I mean, if I'd drawn 3 spells in a row, I could have won. or any more spells than the ones I drew. Oh, gosh, what a brutal loss. Oh, well, it happens. The Surveil would not have mattered. I would have still drawn all lands. But yeah. It's generally better to be a little bit short on lands than have too many lands. And in the heat of the moment, trying to get my guy down, I was like, okay, let's roll. Okay. Another good hand. On the draw, it's a little bit worse. The Saboteur is an interesting card. We'll see how it does this game. Wasn't really able to do much last game. Link Moth Nexus, wow. Okay, that's a good exchange for me. Oh my gosh. Gosh. This is getting... No, they have a kill spell? Perfect, I get a 5/5 back. It's pretty good for me. You gotta risk it for the biscuit sometimes. Okay, Gene Pollinator. They did also have Blink Moth Nexus. Gotta remember they can use this as a chump blocker. I didn't want to give him card draw, but I probably should have. I'm going to cut a land. I have very consistent mana. I don't have that many top-end cards. Gonna cut a land and add... add a red card. That seems weird. Maybe we'll find a use for this. I don't know. Feels weird. I just feel like my deck lacks a little bit at the top end of the curve. Still, we're 1-1. Battling it out. We're only going to play 5 rounds. I think I said that, but 5 rounds. Try to go 3 and 2 or better. Because that way I get to play as many different decks as possible during the early access event. I think in the dark I would like to warp this. My deck is pretty aggressive. Trading 2 damage for 2 damage seems pretty good to me. Man, they had to shock this in, so they didn't have a forest. That's good to know. Beautiful. This is such a thing of beauty when this deck is working on all cylinders. Sure. Sure. We're not going to discard the hand, but just having a 5/5 is nice here. I'm going to do this first. I don't want that. Man, my deck is feeling really good this game. Send that guy to the graveyard so I can just warp him next turn. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is This is disgusting what we're about to do. We go Timeline Color, Roving Actuator. Because we've warped, we get to get back Tragic Trajectory. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was a thing of beauty. Oh, that was gorgeous. Well, let's see if we can do that one more time. Holy baby, that was... Oh man, that was so amazing. That was so satisfying. You have no idea. It's like warp. Get warp trigger. I mean, the 3 of the cards, there's just so many of them, and they just trigger it so easily as long as you're on the front foot. Yeah, I think the actuator is definitely worth playing. The 5/5, maybe not so much. But I don't have anything really better. Yep, we're keeping this bad boy. I think we want to put him on the back foot. Do I get rid of the Saboteur? Probably. Well, such is life. This would have been a swamp, so punished for the greed, I guess. They're going to trigger their Void card. Oh, they have another Alfariel. Hate to see it. I don't love my position here. Come on, Mountain. Yeah, I don't like my odds here. I know I could have held up Bombard, but if they spend their whole turn using the Fell Grav ship, I think that's okay for me, honestly. Like, they gain some life, and then I bombard it, and I play my Timeline Color. I needed to get Skittermaw into play, I think. I missed too many land drops this game, which was unfortunate. Yeah, they get back a 4 or 5. That's unfortunate. Yep. Oh, man. Kill this guy. Yeah, I needed to draw a mountain at one point, and I missed the window to kill their 2/3 guy. I just missed my 3rd land for too long this game. It's easy to remember, like, at the end of the game when you're losing, it's hard to remember sometimes, oh, I lost because I missed my land drops, but, like, if I had played a mountain instead of this, or a swamp instead of this, I could have probably won this game. Okay, they got me. Okay, this is the battle. This is the one to see if we can go 3-2. Do I want to make any changes, or do I want to let it ride? I think I'm going to be a little bit more conservative. Gonna cut that. My curve does kind of top at 4, though. Never mind. We're back on the menu. Let's go. All the way. Come on. Let's get the 3-2. If we don't, it's not about the result. It's about what you learned and all the battles along the way. But I would love to get it. Ooh, we're getting punished for the lack of swamps here. On the draw, I don't know if I want to trade 2 for 2. So we'll just play it a little safe. Sure. Ooh, the Blade of the Swarm should be good against this. This is looking good. Blade's going to take out the whale. Not that I really care about the whale, but, like, might as well. It's an up 2. Why would they want to return that? Get out of here, whale. We don't want you. Or I don't want you. Things are looking good for the home team here. Once again, Vault Guard, the never going to be used, but better than a land would have been here. Obviously, I'm not trying to discard my hand anyway. It's just a 5/5. I wonder if they have a board sweeper. Tractor beam. They do have a board sweeper. My timeline color would have been really good here, too. If I find my actuator, oh my gosh. I should have done it pre-combat. No! I'm bad. Mistakes were made. Yeah, I messed this up. Like, I could have had him at 6 here if I just played this thing pre-combat like I was supposed to. Boom! The timeline. Woo! That was awesome. That was awesome. Our deck really came through in those games where we were won. It felt like dominant in a lot of those games. Huge shout out to Wizards for letting me into the early access event so I could get this recorded early. If you did enjoy this video, then want to let me know you made it all the way to the end in the comment section down below. Leave hashtag Monoblack ? Because it was pretty much Monoblack. We had like 3 red cards, but mostly a Monoblack deck, and it was super, super sweet. These sorts of decks don't come around all that often. Or you could leave hashtag timeline, because this card was super sweet, and this is maybe the best version of a deck for this card that you will see in a long time. That's going to do it for this one, though. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed making it, and I will talk to you next time.